Hey, good morning. It's Guido. Welcome back to Tactics Talk. On this episode, we have Avoided Donut. Avoided Donut is back in his E100. How many of you played the E100? Not a lot. I'm imagining it's not a lot, but it's a really great tank. It really is in its element. Now you can see Avoided is going to cross here, and he's going to take a chance because he knows he's going to get shot in the side. If he looks at this, he says, wow, no artillery really to keep these guys honest. Lots of mediums on the enemy team. More than likely, somebody's going to come up here and take a shot at me. Plus, he's already spotted. But he also knows that as a heavy tank, he needs to get down here and start fighting the enemy heavy tanks. And interestingly, only he and an IS-7 so far have come this way. And those two are just sitting there with their great gun depression, just waiting for Donut to come by. One of them gets a pen and a track, and he takes another hit, and now he is down 700 hit points. That is a bummer. It really is kind of crummy map design, to be quite honest. To get into this fight down here, you have to risk yourself, especially in a relatively large and slow heavy tank. The only other option is to go over onto the east side, but this is really where the important terrain is right here. So Donut makes it happen. The IS-7 is attempting to push in. We get a little bit of a pissing contest going on here. The IS-7 does not appreciate it. It's not well appreciated. And in the past, that would have been another 400 hit points off of the Donut. Comes in here and finds the 277. I don't know what he's looking at. Spacing off a little bit. Now, this is a master's class in heavy tank. Heavy tank tanking. So let's watch what Avoided does here. He comes in here and he starts a side scrape. Sees the T-57. T-57 is making a runner. He's going to just sneak one in there. So he's got two nice hits for 1,607 damage. But there's only himself and an IS-7 and a lot of enemy tanks. The thing is, the enemy doesn't necessarily know right now what's here. They probably should have a pretty good idea based on what's lit. And watch what Avoided does right here. He actually backs out of this. Says, you know what, I'm not going to sit here because once they start to fold around, they're going to have all kinds of shots. Sneaks one in on the 100 who is either on a reload or just spacing off. And then backs out and starts fighting from this point, knowing that he can support the IS-7 up there to his right. And he can keep any of them honest trying to come around this corner by just anchoring this corner and side scraping. And this thing is one of the better side scraping tanks in the game. The only thing you got to watch out for is that big flat turret right there. But if you angle the turret and the hole at the same time, that sometimes requires you to lock the turret as well with the right mouse button. You can do pretty well. Now this is a nice little shot here. Somebody's on fire and somebody did not bring a fire extinguisher. There you go, burning down. He gets 790 off the hit, 543 more off of the fire, and he's able to keep the IS-7 alive a little bit longer, but they do some nice job putting some damage on these guys. Puts a heat into some spaced armor on the side and is unfortunately unable to pen. Backs out, takes a hit from the object. That was a while ago, actually. Sorry, from the E100. Takes a hit from the E100. Puts a nice heat shot right into the turret of the T-57. And notice he just continues to work the side scrape right here. He knows that 277 might be coming out, then the WZ bounces one, takes a hit from the other. Kind of hard to angle perfectly against two like that. Goes for the turret face, but unfortunately looks like he gets into the mantlet. Might have been able to aim a little bit to the right on that one. But sometimes that happens in RNG. Backs up again and goes back into a side scrape. This is just a defensive move, but he knows he's got a lot of TDs up there. Plus he's down to a one-shot with a high roll on one of the 750 alpha guys like this one. Nice bounce there. The other E100 is using AP. I don't think he would have penned on that anyway because he hit off the side of the turret. And now we have Avoided Donut sitting at 4,765. Went to essentially what was a weak flank based on only two tanks right there. And outfought, what, at least 4, maybe 5 enemy tanks along with the IS-7. The WZ did come in and back up eventually, back him up. And the WZ will also have a pretty good game as well. So the WZ, being a more mobile tank, is moving forward. And then the Donut is coming up here. And now we've got to try to figure out how to peel out a bunch of campers and large TDs sitting back up on the cap there. We don't want to just come up and over this and die to them. So we got a FV droning around. He's out in the open making a runner. I'm not really sure what his plan is here. He comes out into the open. Well, there you go. He gets one kill. 683 dropped on the FV. Nicely done. And again, does not want to just come up and over that hill because there's so many other TDs there. There's a Grille, and there is an unknown JPZ. Okay, yep, JPZ is actually up on top. Sees the grill up there, starts to look for a shot on him. Doing a bit of rocking back and forth, and at first I was like, I don't know why you're really doing that, but it is at the edge of his spotting range, and the grill has, especially compared to an E100, decent camo. So he doesn't really want that grill to come around, get a nice aim, and holy cow, he was there. Backs up and takes a hit, but only destroys the gun. So that was actually some great SA on that. I'm just going to kind of make this shot a little more difficult until somebody lights up that grille for me, and down he went. Down goes the Panzer 7, and now we're looking for hit points off the GW. And actually, you missed a little bit that there was a grill there. You are spotted, but somebody runs up and takes him down before he can actually shoot you in the side. And I don't believe we have any more damage here. We come on up. Yeah, that guy dies. And that is the end of it. So, wow, man, nicely done. Master's class in heavy tanking, guys. And, you know, the E100 is not necessarily a very popular tank. It's popular because it's a cool tank, but you don't see a whole lot of them played because it's not meta. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you can really do that heavy tank thing if you're careful, if you're paying attention to what's going on around you. And I referenced the backing into that little alleyway right there, which was a great idea for him to kind of change the angles, support the IS-7, but keep them from coming straight around that corner. Because had he stayed up forward where the IS-7 was just looking the other way, those guys all pile around the IS-7 and shoot him right in the back. And as it is, his front armor is there. He's also keeping him away from coming around the IS-7 on the other corner, and he can support the IS-7. That was really nicely done. A little tactical maneuver within the local area there. So thanks for sending that in, Donut. I appreciate it. For everybody else, we will see you.